Little Dany.
Little Dany.
Remember Brady when LaVar was telling us like a year ago? So man, I'm telling you, Dan Snyder's petty. Like there's a level of pettiness. There's something to him. There's no quitting this guy.
That's the word. That is 100% the word too.
He's just petty.
Petty.
Like Tom Petty, or just not?
Nah. Tom Petty was Tom Petty. Like he wore it. It's just his name.
He doesn't dance with corpses in music videos. No, he's not that.
Okay,
he's not that Tom.
That's a bit much.
Come on, he's walking around with a dead body. Who does that? Besides Dahmer.
Well, he is now.
Oh, jeez. Come on, LaVar.
What?
Come on.
Is it too soon?
Have a heart.
It's too soon.
I mean, Berta, we're going to take this?
What do you mean?
This early in the morning?
Racist.
Thank you.
Oh, my God. Really? Really? And all I said was he was walking with a dead person now?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Didn't say that about Prince.
They looking at him.
Okay.
They looking at him. Wherever he's at right now, somebody's looking at him. That's all I'm going to tell you.
So the latest is that Dan Snyder apparently is now not interested in selling his team because Jeff Bezos was poking around, and he's not a fan of Jeff Bezos. And so now there's some speculation that, he put a price out there. He said, I'd be willing to talk to people about this price. And then Bezos hires somebody to look into it. And then all of a sudden, a new report comes out from the New York Post, not the Washington Post, of course, that says, yeah, maybe he's not interested in wanting to sell to Jeff Bezos, so we're going to go ahead and hold on to this thing for a little bit longer. The fact that he's still there and we're still having these conversations, it just goes back to the original point. Not only does he know where the bodies are buried, he knows who's responsible for all of those bodies in the league. Because why the hell is he still the owner of the Washington Commandos?
You got to go through the process is all I would say. Got to go through the process, and it's interesting that first of all, you haven't really heard anything from him. I don't know if you guys have paid attention to that. You haven't heard anything. But then it's like, all right, is he selling because he has to sell? Is he selling because he feels like he wants to sell? Is he like, for me, I thought the whole reason why he was heading down this direction, because I'm one that firmly believes he would never sell that team. Like, you'll have to pry that team from his dying last breaths in his body to get that team from him.
Just out of spite?
No. That part of it is because he loves that team that much. Like he literally loves the Washington team that he purchased. But where he's at now, he's always shown he's a fighter. Like, if there's one thing that you can appreciate about the dude, he's going to fight to the end for what it is that he's trying to get done. So I thought that it was a foregone conclusion. Whatever's in this report or whatever it is that they keep saying that if it gets released, release the report, stuff like that of the workplace and all that stuff, that he's trying to avoid, information that could basically ruin his reputation, because I don't know that he has a great reputation anyway. But I think he's trying to save his family. I mean, I would assume you want to salvage and kind of save your family from some of the things that would come out if that report came out. But I don't know. I just think he's doing things now. Like, I think the Eric Bieniemy hire adds to it. I think you guys heard me say last week that a lot of this stuff for Washington, it's not necessarily about the quality of that person that they're hiring. And I don't want to say it's any disrespect towards any of the guys that have been hired, because I think they're fine men. I think they're hiring fine people that fit the billing that makes it a better conversation to the public, that they're favorable. We gave a minority our head coaching job. We gave a minority our president of the organization job. We gave our head of player development to a minority. Like, basically everybody in a position of power at Washington is a minority. That now the assistant head coach, offensive coordinator, it's a minority. So to me, I think that they're trying to quietly create positivity and create hope and excitement so that he doesn't have to sell. And if you give it enough time, just maybe you figure out that the report isn't going to be released, and now there's enough of, you've heard people complain enough about releasing the report that you become tone deaf to it. And to me, to come out and say you're going to ban Jeff Bezos from being able to bid on the team, I don't know about you guys, but to me that says that now you opening your mouth, you put yourself back at square one because it exposes the fact that you indeed have an agenda. That's what I would say.
I think it's crazy that it's dragged on this long, and we haven't heard anything from Mary Jo White. Wasn't she doing an investigation?
Think so.
Yeah. What's up with that? Like, did she just put that on the shelf and go on vacation?
Look, there's 600,000 emails. It takes time, I mean, they found John Gruden's pretty quick, but it takes
real
time.
Quick.
Yeah.
No, but no one else's.
Like, what was the search filter they used? Gruden potentially racist, and 3 popped up. That'll work.
Yeah.
Like, what are we looking at here?
So this investigation's been going on, but has fallen to the wayside because he was going to sell, so that was going to solve all their issues. Maybe they felt like they were working towards, something that didn't matter. It's hard to understand why that investigation's taken so long, regardless of whether Dan Snyder's selling his team or not. And then the next question is, so with these reports coming out again, are owners like Jim Irsay going to step up and say this guy needs to sell the team? Because they were pretty outspoken in the first place, which led to, maybe Dan Snyder starting to take these positions or make these public comments. But now it seems like he's clearly backing off that and trying to behind the scenes allow time and everyone kind of distracted by other things to allow him to maybe save it.
That's 100%
where I look
what
at
it is.
I'm just curious, like, who's going to step up then and say something again? I don't know that anyone is.
It's not going to
so it may come
be
down
Jerry
to an
Jones,
investigation.
right?
I think the only way anyone, air quotes, steps up to say anything about it is if you have to. I mean, we're talking about the same situation. Well, I won't go there, but I'll say this. Unless they are forced, and whoever they are, whether it's Roger Goodell, whether it's the other owners, they're going to have to be forced to have to make that decision and make it for him. Otherwise, there isn't going to be any stepping up to say anything. There isn't going to be any, forcing him to do something he doesn't want to do. And I think he knows that. Like, it's like you take people all the way to the edge. Like, oh, you put your house up for sale. Oh, you hired a bank to put together the financials. You've gone through the whole entire process, and that's really, it's like, okay, that satisfied the mob. You satisfied them enough. Like, okay, he at least is going through the process. But then when you come out and you say something like, well, I'm not going to bid. Well, how many people can bid for your team? So what? You're just going to ban everybody who wants to bid for your team? Like, if you're trying to sell something, I could give a damn about who it is that's going to buy it, because once you've purchased it, you've purchased it. And the brand that we know, the brand that he grew up loving, is not that brand anymore.